So I read this really cool report from Motion and their creative trends for 2025. It's a cool report that goes beyond gut feelings and AI generated predictions. It would be really easy to talk to friends, look at past successes, or even let GPT take a crack at the future. And to be honest, we did some of that. But we're going to talk about this report that takes things a little further. It's really built on a rigorous methodology designed to challenge assumptions, interrogate biases, and separate fact from feeling. So if you want to stay ahead of the biggest shifts in marketing and advertising creative, stick around. We're breaking it all down. What's changing, what's working, and how you can use some of the insights in this podcast to drive real results in 2025.
One nerd, two nerds, three nerds, four marketing nerds do so much more. Over hill and high where the nerd buggies go. Come along and bring you the Marketing Nerd Show.
La 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 la. What on earth is this podcast intro? La 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 la. These marketers, geez, freaking crazy.
Welcome to this edition of the Marketing Nerds Podcast. My name is Brian, and with me in studio is the amazing Ellie Marks.
Hey, Brian, and hello to all our listeners. I'm Ellie. I'm super excited for today's discussion.
Same here. So, Ellie, did you get a chance to read through Motion's 2025 Creative Trends Report?
Oh, I more than read it. I practically devoured it.
Right? There's so much to unpack.
Absolutely. The authenticity renaissance really caught my eye.
Yes. The idea that even with AI shaking up creative production, we still need to focus on emotional resonance and human storytelling.
Exactly. Morella Crespi said it best. The goal isn't just to make ads faster. It's to make people feel something.
Uh-huh. That quote really hit home.
But with AI making content creation so easy, do you think there's a risk of ads becoming, a bit unremarkable?
That's an interesting point. If everyone's using the same tools, the content could start blending together.
Right, like we're automating the uniqueness out of advertising.
I see what you mean. But I think it's all about how we use AI as a tool.
True, but there's a temptation to rely on it too heavily.
Maybe, but that just means we need to push ourselves creatively.
That's a positive way to look at it.
Thanks. Speaking of creativity, did you notice the part about the comedy comeback? Apparently, humor is making a big return in ads.
Oh, wow, I did. Joanna Wallace mentioned, being funny works. Not every ad needs to make a hard sell.
Exactly. But do you think brands are ready to take that risk with humor?
Well, humor can be tricky. What's funny to one person might not be to another.
Right. But with careful testing, maybe starting with low-risk campaigns, it could pay off.
And collaborating with creators who understand humor could help navigate that.
Definitely. It's all about knowing your audience and striking the right chord.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears, the volume era is upon us. Did you see that top DTC brands are creating 50 to 70 new ads weekly on Meta platforms?
That's insane. I can't even imagine the workload.
Tell me about it. Leveraging AI seems necessary just to keep up.
Yeah, but doesn't that lead to potential oversaturation?
Maybe, but with AI optimizing content for different platforms, we can tailor messages more precisely.
I suppose, but we have to ensure quality doesn't suffer in the process.
Agreed. It's a delicate balance between quantity and quality.
Speaking of balance, the education advantage caught my attention too.
Oh, me too. With consumer skepticism on the rise, building trust through educational content seems crucial.
But do you think people have the attention span for long-form content nowadays?
I think if it's engaging and provides real value, people will tune in.
That's a fair point. Podcasts and webinars are pretty popular after all.
Exactly. Featuring employees as experts can boost credibility too.
It adds that authentic human element.
Precisely. What are your thoughts on the nostalgia frontier?
I love it. Tapping into retro vibes can create strong emotional connections.
But only if it's done right. We need to reimagine the past, not just recycle it.
Right, evoke feelings rather than just reusing old ideas.
Couldn't agree more.
And then there's the lo-fi squeeze. Lo-fi production is still going strong.
Yeah, but with so many brands jumping on that bandwagon, how do you stand out?
By finding unique ways to approach lo-fi. Maybe embracing absurdity or simplicity to cut through the noise.
Interesting. So sometimes less really is more?
Exactly. Simplicity can be incredibly effective.
Now, the report also talks about the bleeding creative edge and transforming creative teams.
Yes. New roles like creative strategists and platform network directors are becoming essential.
Building internal creative studios makes sense to produce diverse content rapidly.
Uh-huh. But do you think disrupting traditional production models is feasible for most brands?
It might be challenging, but I think it's necessary to stay competitive in today's market.
That's true. Adaptability is key.
Absolutely. Brands that don't evolve may get left behind.
Well said. So, overall, the report emphasizes balancing AI-driven efficiency with human storytelling.
Exactly. That's the crux of succeeding moving forward.
But it's easier said than done, don't you think?
Definitely. But challenges like these push us to be more innovative.
You're quite the optimist.
Guilty as charged.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just that it's an exciting time in advertising, and keeping the human element front and center is more important than ever.
Couldn't agree more. It's been a great discussion.
Always a pleasure chatting with you, Brian.
Same here, Ellie.
Meanwhile, if you're interested in reading this full report, we're going to put a download link in the show notes of this podcast.
Until next time, keep pushing those creative boundaries.
Take care, everyone.